Welcome to another video from earnped.com. I'm Stevie B. Happy to have you all with me today. Sorry I got tongue-tied there for a second. We are on Monria, actually at the new Dsec 9 map area. If you saw my video just the other day, we came and we completed the first of the new dynamic events. Oh, hey look, they keep adding stuff to the table, so this wasn't here the other day. Today we've got 2 drinks and 2 books sitting on the table. That was not here just the other day. But we came and we did the first of the dynamic events. We got our mission from Shadow Dragon 5 NPC over here, and we went over this way to the shrine, and we protected, then reclaimed the shrine. And this scarecrow right here was actually a revive point. And I made a couple of videos, one where I got the mission and there was nobody there so I couldn't do the event, then one where I was actually doing the event. That video ran long, so I cut it and then made a short video when I actually finished the event and got my bodysuit from Shadow, my Order of the Elder Gods bodysuit that increases run speed. Well, as you can tell, Shadow Dragon also has these Shub Spines that she's wearing, and those Shub Spines will increase your carried weight. So there is a second part after you get the bodysuit to get the Shub Spine. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk to Shadow, we're going to get the mission to get the Shub Spine, and then we're going to talk about how that mission actually works and kind of some of what you have to do in order to complete it. Now, I want to get this video out to you guys because my very good friend Fatty, that most of you know in-game, I'll actually pull him up here for you. He is planning, let's see, private chat. Fatty Thorson, that's him right there. You can find him in the user register. He is actually planning to come to Larcher's Green later this month at the end of October 2022, and he is planning to do the dynamic events in a group. That way you don't have the problem that I had where I was standing there waiting on 5 people to show up, and I just didn't have 5 people. They just were not there, and I had to keep logging out and then log back in a couple hours later and just hope a group showed up. So he is actually going to do this. So on Halloween, so October 31st, 2022, he's going to be hosting the event at Dsec 9 at Larcher's Green to help everybody get the suit and the Shub Spine. It's going to be at 2200 server time, and he's going to be streaming it on Twitch at twitch.tv/fattyprofit. So pull this up here so you guys can see it. If you're wanting to watch the stream, it's going to be twitch.tv/fattyprofit. There we go. Profit is in like biblical profit, not profit is in money. So twitch.tv/fattyprofit. And like I said, you can find him in the user register. Good guy. One of the very first people I ever met in game. One of my best in-game friends. Don't get to talk to him as much as I wish I did. But he's going to be here. I tried to give him some information about the first dynamic event where we were doing the reclaim and the phase 1 mobs were level 45-ish. Phase 2 were level 65-ish. Tried to give him some info on kind of some of the types of guns we used and stuff like that, so he could have an idea what the group would be in for. But if you would like to get involved, 2200 game time on Halloween 2022. Fatty's going to be here at Larcher's Green doing both of these. Now, the second one, the part that I'm about to show you for the Shub Spine, is a little bit more complicated. I already turned my crystal in and got my bodysuit, so now I log back out, log back in. I'm going to, now that I've got this yellow exclamation point over Shadow, I can talk to her and get the next part. So now I am going to prove yourself to the order. So, greetings, Initiate Stevie B. What can I do for you? I was admiring your tentacles and wondered how you came by them. I tore them from the back of one of the children of the black goat of the woods. You removed that yourself. Impressive. Yes, those foul creatures can prey on the vulnerable. I was protecting those adorable shagas. How gross. Okay, so let's just get through all this that we're doing here. Okay, I will return once I complete my task. So, now you will notice that I have 3 different quests I have to do, quote-unquote quests. So, if we pull up our map, we can see that the quests are located inside the Mountain of Madness. So you can see the Mountain of Madness is here. It operates very, very much like the mountain on Monria, where you cannot use a teleporter or teleportation ship or vehicle inside the mountain. However, there are teleporters in the mountain. But you go in the mountain, you've got to find the 3 NPCs, Count Christo, Mr. Sith, and the Black Knight, named after JBK. And there are 3 additional dynamic events, just like the one that we did for the bodysuit. So for each of those events, you do it the exact same way. And then when you get to tier 3 of the event and you go back and you will give the crystal to each of the NPCs, you do that for all 3. Bada bing, bada boom, you end up getting the Shub Spine. So just to run through the list with you real quick, the dynamic event 2, so the first on our list here, is going to be situated by the Mountain of Madness teleporter. Event is triggered by at least 5 people entering the area at random times of day. The group must successfully complete all waves, including boss, and contribute to tier 3 to receive Shoggle's Mucus, which is needed for Prove Yourself. Dynamic event number 3, situated by Niolir's Burrow teleporter, Niolirs, Burrow teleporter. Works the exact same way. And that one, you get the Zocarenius pincher, Zocarenius pincer, which you turn into the NPC. Dynamic event number 4, so third on our list, is situated by Gurlab Layer teleporter. I can't pronounce half these names. I can't even sound them out. For that one, it works the exact same way. You will get Tungsten Spine, and then you turn that in. So do those 3 dynamic events, and you will then end up getting the Shub Spine that we see here. So that being said, I'm going to pull up the map. I'm going to make a waypoint over here-ish, because this should be close to the entrance of the mountain. And instead of using my teleportation ship, what we're going to do is we're going to pull out the quad. And I'm just going to kind of fly over so you guys can get an idea of the landscape that you're going to be dealing with between Larch's Green, however you say it, and the Mountain of Madness. So you guys can kind of see what you're in for. It's a really quick flight. And then I'm going to cut the video as I go into the mountain. When I do those 3 dynamic events, I will try and make a short video. I'm not going to do the entire dynamic event like I did yesterday, where I did the vast majority of it, because it took about a half an hour. But I'm going to try and make a short video on each of those 3 dynamic events. That way you guys will kind of be able to tell, okay, if we're going to do this, here's the kind of, levels of the spawns that we're dealing with, here's the mob level, stuff like that. So you guys can get an idea of what each event kind of looks like. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to knock these out today. I don't know if I'm going to be able to even do them tonight. But I would like to, hopefully, if I get a little bit of luck to work with me, I would like to see those 3 dynamic events get done quickly. That way, A, I can get the Shub Spine and be done with it, but B, more importantly, so I can shoot a little quick video over each of those 3 dynamic events to give you guys an idea of what you're in for. That way, you guys can be more properly informed and be ready. I also want to pass the information on to Fatty, so that anybody who is coming to do these dynamic events will have a better idea kind of what they're in for in way of like mob levels, weapons needed, stuff like that. So hopefully I can get that for you guys. I do have to go back to Cali, like tonight. Today is October 6th, and obviously Halloween Mayhem is approaching us very, very quickly. I am not properly geared up. Summer really threw a monkey wrench in my plans, as well as did all the stuff in real life I've been having to deal with. So really, really, really threw a monkey wrench in my plans. So I've got to try and gear up for Halloween Mayhem. I've got some skilling I need to do before Halloween Mayhem, if I can. And on top of that, I've got more content to make for you guys. I've got more missions I want to do. I've got more things I want to get recorded for y'all. More information to get out there. More good opportunities that I want to be sure you guys know about. So now you can see this is kind of the ginormous entrance into the Mountain of Madness. If we pull up the map, you can see where the entrance actually is. This whole rectangle is the Mountain of Madness itself. Obviously our waypoints are inside, and you can kind of see where the entrance is, this little crevice right here. So I could have just teleported over, but I wanted to fly to give you guys just kind of a vague idea of what everything looked like. I did fly over quite a few mobs on the way here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to head inside. If you saw some of my next island videos a while back, I made some over the Carnival Island. Oh, keep out signs. That's pretty cool. Turn back. Very nice. And when I did, I put out there that, a lot of times when new content is released, the first people to get the new content taken care of, the first people to get the new items and put them up for sale tend to make the most money. And this mission for the bodysuit and Shub Spine is no exception to the rule. Oh, so the door's open, you just go in. Cool. Whenever this mission very first happened, I saw people on CaliTrade within days that had banged out the bodysuit and the Shub Spine, and they were selling them for very good money. Very, very good money. And there were a couple of people that just bought them. Instead of coming to do the dynamic events and do the missions, they just decided to buy them because of A, the fact that they look cool, but B, the utility of the increased run speed and the increased carry weight. And they felt that the increased carry weight and the increased run speed, in addition to looking cool, was well worth the money they were spending. So I know there were several people, several very good friends of mine, who were playing that we didn't coordinate it. I didn't even tell them about the version update or anything. They just saw it happen. They banged it out. They got their bodysuit. They got the Shub Spine. And then they just went and immediately sold them in CaliTrade to other players. So generally speaking, in Entropia, when there's new content, that is where you will sometimes find opportunities. And that's one of the reasons I try and get videos made quickly when new content is released. I usually am not going to get it to you guys fast enough for you guys to be able to be like, oh, cool, let's go do this, and then, try and bank off of it. But by doing it and regularly showing you guys, like, okay, here's what's really up, here's what's really going on, here's some of the new content and where some of these opportunities are, I hope that you guys can start to see how this kind of works and where some of these opportunities lie, so that in future version updates, when there's new material that comes out, in future version updates when there's new missions and new content, you guys can just pick up on it right away and go do those things and not have to wait on me to be like, okay, here's exactly what you need to do, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So luckily, now that I'll have this teleporter over here, this is the actual Mountain of Madness teleporter, which tells me we're near the very, very beginning. Luckily, with that being the case, I'll now be able to just teleport back and forth between here and Larch's Green. And there's probably another teleporter very, very close to outside where I landed the quad. I would almost bet money on that. So, okay, there we go. Got that one. New area discovered, Mountain of Madness. And look who it is, Count Christo. Oh, a tombstone next to a revive terminal. Quaint. I don't know why nobody ever thought of that before. Over here we got a trade terminal, repair terminal, and storage facility. So that's all cool. That'd be a little bit cooler if the tombstone actually did something. But here's Count Christo. So we'll talk to them. First of the three. Hello, how may I serve you? Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So we need to now go to Shoggle's Mucus, Mucus, whatever. Anyway, we now need to go to Shoggle's Mucus, or whatever that is, which is where the first of the three dynamic events will be, which looks like it is above us. Because if you look at the radar, here's the teleporter, so we should be directly under it. Interesting. So there's the Mountain of Madness, and it wants us to return. I'm not exactly sure. I'm going to head this way. The information I had did say that this particular dynamic event was very, very close to the Mountain of Madness teleporter. But it seems like I'm getting further away somehow, and I should be able to use a vehicle, but not inside the mountain itself. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for right now because that was the important part. That's what I wanted to get to begin with. was just getting in here, getting the Mountain of Madness teleporter, and you guys being able to see Count Crusoe and all that stuff, and kind of understand how it works with getting each of the three, getting the main mission, getting each of the three side quest missions, going and doing all 3 dynamic events, turning in the stuff for those, and then getting the Shub Spine. So we're going to leave it there for today. And like I said, I've got a lot more stuff I need to do before Halloween Mayhem, just to get ready, just to gear up, just to get everything set up and in place, not to mention the skilling. I desperately need to do this. It's going to take far longer than I have, but obviously I've got more stuff to bang out for you guys too. So we're going to leave it there for today. Sip, sip, smack, smack. Y'all know the rest. Head over to earnped.com, because when you earn, we earn. That is by far the best way you guys can help support us. We are not the first, nor are we the only place where you can earn ped online. So when you choose earnped.com, it really means a great, great deal to us. And also be sure and hit that bell icon to subscribe to the channel, because every subscriber matters. Every Stevie is very, very important. And hit the like button on each and every one of the videos, because whether it was super informative or kind of informative or super useful to you or only kind of useful to you or maybe not useful at all, we make these videos to make this game easier and more fun for everybody. And there's going to be some stuff that's more aimed at certain players than others. We know that, but every like matters a ton, because there's always, 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 always a hater sitting there waiting to hit that dislike button the moment we upload videos. So got a lot of good stuff coming for you guys. We'll be back with more content for you very soon. Till then, sip, sip, smack, smack. Have a good one, Stevies.